Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to Keith's Hot Takes. And on today's episode, I have a special guest on the line with me today. I have my guy Lamarck from J Wall Sports. Lamarck, how you doing today, bro?
I'm good, Keith. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. Ready to talk about our Rams football team and basketball team, and we're gonna get into all the NFL games this week. So they travel to Raleigh to Shaw this week, looking to extend their winning streak to 4 games. As I'm looking here, Shaw is really not that dynamic on offense. I see they only threw it. Let me see, 17 times last week. They ran it. They ran it over 30 times last week. So looks like their identity is running the ball. And I feel like that's what we do best is stopping the run. So how do you see us extending our winning streak to 4 games this week?
Yeah, man. I could very well see us extending our win game for streaks this week. I mean, you said that they're a run heavy team. We're really good at stopping the run. We have some really good defensive players out there. We have some players who were nominated to go to the HBCU bowl game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Flowers and Taylor.
yeah, Flowers and Taylor, they were recognized. So shout out to those two. I think both of those guys are on defense. I know Flowers is on defense for
Yeah,
sure.
Taylor's the thumper. He's the linebacker. He will lay that wood on you.
Okay, exactly. So having both of those two guys being nominated, I assume I'm not going to assume, but I think those guys are going to be the front runners for the defense. So yeah, most definitely.
Yes, the HBCU Legacy Bowl. That's something
Yeah,
new
there
this
we go.
week.
HBCU Legacy Bowl.
Yeah, so I totally agree with you. Considering Shaw is not good at throwing the football, and I feel like if you want to move the ball on our defense, I feel like would be the way you move the ball on our defense. So I feel like we're definitely going to get another win. Shaw has been a thorn in our side as I'm looking here. They've won 3 out of the last 5 matchups. We all remember that homecoming in 2015 when they were 0-8 and they beat us in overtime. That was really upset my stomach. But yeah, Shaw was always giving us trouble, especially the last 2 years they beat us. So we really need this win because if Fayetteville State wins Saturday against Livingstone, we have no chance of winning the South. So go Livingstone Saturday. I need y'all to play like y'all haven't played in a very long time and somehow beat Fayetteville State so we can somehow go through the championship. But yeah, I just love the way we're moving the ball on offense. I didn't like how we looked in the second half. I feel like we left a lot of points out there on the board. Livingstone's defensive line gave us a lot of trouble. So hopefully our offensive line can protect Cameron Lewis so we can get it to Antoine Collins. And he's just a dynamic playmaker. And I really love how we're looking under Cam Smith. So hopefully we're able to get some revenge against Shaw this week. So yeah. So our basketball team, the reigning defending CI champs, I feel like a lot of people have forgotten that with all the smack I've seen on Twitter from our Twitter trolls. People love to hate on the Rams. But we have 2 exhibition
Especially
games.
living room.
Oh yeah, living room. I'm dead. But we play Duke Saturday. If you want to go to that game, I probably would just watch it on TV because you still have to put food on the table for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you still have to buy the toys for the kids for Christmas. And to put it nicely, tickets for this game are ridiculous. They range from $125 to $600 for this game. The game against Wake Forest next week is much cheaper. Everybody can afford this. For the upper level, tickets are $5, and for the lower level, they're $10. So, Lamar, what are you hoping to learn about this team during these 2 exhibition games against Duke and Wake Forest?
What am I expecting to learn from these two teams is, do they know the roles? That's first things first. I mean, we still have Cam. He came back, due to the NCAA giving everybody another year. So he's still there. We have some new faces. We have a really nice big man. I've been keeping up with him. I'm not really sure of his name, but how is he going to be able to handle those Dukes bigs defensively? What's he going to do? Is he fundamentally sound? Is he going to box out, or is he just going to try to use his size and his length, to try to grab rebounds? That's another thing I'm going to be looking from his team. I know Coach Hill, I know Coach Brown. Those two guys, they are all about doing things the right way. So is this team going to box out? They can get beat, and you can still walk out with your heads up against this really good Duke team. If you could do everything right, but you just can't, overcome a powerhouse D1 team, we can live with that. I can live with that, because when we play people in the CI, they're not going to be, as good as Duke. They're not going to be as good and athletic and as tall as Wake Forest. Wake Forest and Duke I think they both have a 7-footer on the team. And I don't think I've seen a 7-footer in the CI since my sophomore year.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Right. So how are we going to be able to Are we going to be able to handle that? How are we going to be able to score? How are we going to handle pick and rolls? How are we going to handle, individual matchups? How's defense going to be? And this is going to be, both of these guys are going to be good film study before we jump into the Division II and the CIAA play, because the division, they're gonna break down our defense, and to be cognizant to cover this and to cover that. So that's the main thing that I'm hoping that the team can learn from these 2 games, the defensive mistakes.
Yeah, I want Ram fans not to have the expectations of too high for these 2 games, because we haven't played in 2 years, and we saw what the football team looked like in their first game, not playing in 2 years. Really looking forward to is seeing our freshmen. Well, are they still? Yeah, they're still freshmen. Samaj Teal and what was the other one? Isaac Parsons. Getting 2 point guards like that from 2 powerhouse high school programs here in North Carolina. That was huge to pick up guys like that. And I'm just excited to see how, like you said, how all this talent meshes together. I've seen the practice footage that Talk has put out, and we look really good. So I'm excited to see how we hold up against 2 ACC teams. And like I said, if this game is close late, Coach K is going to be getting them 20s out of his pocket and making sure that they don't beat him in his last season at Duke. But I mean,
look, just because that's what Roy Williams did, so he ain't had to get embarrassed by no D2 team. Don't try to put that on a great coach like Coach K. All right, put some respect on his name.
Roy never had to do that, but
I don't know. I think at halftime he hit him. Here you go, ref. Here you go, ref. Flipped him a few 20s.
And Cameron Campbell, I'm really excited to see him, see how good he can be for our team. I'm glad he came back because he didn't get to play last year because of COVID. So I'm really excited about this team, and I know for a fact we will defend our CIAA championship. And when we do, I want all that same energy from people saying we're going to go 5-20 this year and all that reckless stuff. And,
Hey, well, wait, before you made that declaration, I heard Fayetteville State is going to be tough. I heard they got like 5 or 6 D1 transfers. I don't know how good those D1 transfers are, but I heard Fayetteville State supposed to be nice.
Well, like I said, I didn't go to Fayetteville State, so I'm going hard. I'm going hard for my Rams, and I'll put us up against anybody. So they're putting in some new bleachers in the game center, so hopefully they're better than those bleachers they had in there before. And hopefully I'm able to go in there and catch a game or 2 this year. It's going to be hard to get in there this year because we're going to be good for the men's team and the women's team. So really excited to see how they look this weekend. It'll be on the ACC Extra, so that's ESPN3. All righty. So switching to the NFL now, we have 2 teams that's on their bye week this week. The Raiders, they picked up 2 wins after Gruden resigned after his email controversy. And then the Ravens, after they just took a smacking to the Bengals. Maybe they were looking ahead to their vacation plans and stuff like that, and maybe that's why they fell flat on their face. And Lamarck, you and Ruff, y'all went 10-4 last week. I took a couple gambles that came back to bite me in the backside, and I went 7-7 to
Oof.
push my record to 69-47. And I got another game of the week wrong. I'm 1-6 in game of the week picks. So we're gonna try to turn that around this week. So we both know the Panthers haven't looked great. They're on now a 4-game slide. The Falcons have won 2 in a row. Do the Panthers snap their losing streak, or do the Falcons make it 3 in a row?
I don't know. I mean, the Falcons, they're on a really good pace right now. They're really finding a way. I mean, the win last week, I really don't think that should have been a win against the Miami Dolphins, because late game drive, Dolphins having lots of defensive troubles. But then, you look at the Panthers, and they can't drop 5 games in a row. I mean, if you drop 5 games in a row, like some people's heads is about to be on a chopping block. I mean,
Sure.
head coach head is going to be on a chopping block. I mean, you can't trade Sam Darnold again, so you're pretty much stuck with him. I mean, is Christian McCaffrey going to be back? I mean, that hamstring is still bothering him. I looked at it yesterday for Wednesday. He was a limited participant in practice, which is not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
And especially when you're playing with that hamstring, that growing, that calf area, limited does not mean much. It means oh, you tried it out today, and it was a lot of soreness, so you sat out in a lot of other things. So, Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I'm gonna say the Panthers don't bounce back this week. I'm gonna say no Christian McCaffrey. They're really not gonna be able to overcome that. Defense, I don't really see them. I see them. Okay, you know what? Change my mind. I'm gonna go with the Panthers. They're in desperation mode. They got to come out with the win. If they lose this one, I can live with it, but I'm going with the Panthers.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Gilmore is going to play this week, because he came off the Pope list, so we have to see if he's going to play this week.
If Gilmore plays this week, then I'm really going to be high on him.
Yeah, I'm hoping he plays, because they're going to need somebody to deal with Kyle Pitts for sure.
Your linebacker is going to have to deal with Kyle Pitts, because Kyle Pitts is not a receiver; he's a tight end.
Ooh, I don't know if I want to linebacker on Kyle Pitts.
I don't know if I want to say. I don't know if I want a cornerback on Kyle Pitts. I'd rather have a linebacker.
Well, I would take my chances with Stephon Gilmore, honestly. But then you got Calvin Ridley, who's just, ooh, man, he be murdering people with them routes, boy. Ooh, get him out. He had people lost. But I took the Panthers for the simple fact of what you said. I just cannot see this team losing 5 in a row. I just can't. Like you said, they'll be in desperation mode. I think they should do what the Lions did last week, although it didn't work. They left everything they had out there on the field. I think they onside kicked twice, faked the punt. The Lions, they're tired of losing, and they showed it. And the Panthers, like we talked about on your show, they're going to have to find creative ways to get their run game going. Sam Darnold, he's got to stop throwing to the other team. I don't know if he's still seeing ghosts or, stuff like that or what, but he's got to stop throwing to the other team and remember what color his team has on when they take the field and stop throwing it to the other team.
Right. He about to adopt Carson Wentz's old name. We just got the remix. We're going to call it Walk It To Him Sam. That's all he be doing. He's walking it to him. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah, so hopefully they get the act together, and I'm not very confident about this pick because I took them last week and they embarrassed me. They cost me. So we have to see.
Oh yeah, they most definitely cost me in my prediction race when I shot last week. So
very upset
with them right now.
Them and I think it was the 49ers and Seahawks was the only games me, you, and Ruff did. I kind of took a chance on 49ers and Seahawks. We have the Miami Dolphins visiting the Buffalo Bills. Dolphins are on a 6-game losing streak. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, it's going to go to 7.
7.
But hopefully they come out desperate. Tua is doing all he can. but his defense is probably gonna give up 30 plus to Josh Allen easily. Because I don't know how they've digressed so much. It's really scary how they've digressed so much. So I got Buffalo here. It could be a shootout. I don't know, but how do you see this game playing out?
Most definitely, Buffalo's going to get the win. I just think, when we talked about it on JWall Sports, the Dolphins defense is giving up too many points for them to, try to do anything with this Buffalo Bills team. I mean, the Bills, they're giving up not the Bills. The Dolphins are giving up 29 points per game, 414 yards per game. And we know Josh Allen can throw for 414, with his eyes closed. So how they are able to stop this team, I'm just as confused as you.
So next this is going to be a tricky one. I'm really not sure how this one's going to go. We have the San Francisco 49ers visiting the Chicago Bears. The 49ers played in a downpouring rainstorm last week. They lost. I'm very concerned because it seems like Jimmy G doesn't trust anybody but Debo Samuels. And I guess when they get Kittle back, you have another weapon. But how do you see this playing out? The Bears, they got embarrassed, set Justin Fields up for the kill. He was just getting murdered. His offensive line, they couldn't block his statue right now, and that's being polite. So how do you see this matchup playing out?
I'm gonna have to go with the 49ers for this game just because, veteran leadership on this team. This was a Super Bowl team in 2019. Although they are 2-4 right now, but I still have trust in this defense to shake some things up with this Bears offense. You just talked about it. The Bears offensive line is having some trouble. Justin Fields, he's not really getting no protection, and he's not getting chances to scramble out of the pocket so he can find the open targets. So I think that'd be a big factor. I don't think the Bears defense is going to cause any problems. I mean, this Bears defense is not what they used to be. Last year, this Bears defense was a force to be reckoned with, and now it's like mincemeat. They just chopping them up, doing whatever they can. I mean, that is just the same thing with the Dolphins we talked about. Dolphins had a dynamic defense last year with a subpar offense. Same thing with the Bears. We thought Justin Fields was going into one of the best situations that the rookies could go into because the defense would keep games close for him and allow him to make mistakes. But Fields is not allowed to make mistakes at this point. And so they're probably going to go into a rebuild. So, yeah, I'm going to call the 49ers for this game.
Yeah, initially I had the Bears, but I'm definitely going to agree with you. I'm going to flip to the 49ers just because I think Nick Bosa is going to live in that backfield Sunday. And I just don't know if Justin Fields is going to have enough time to, move the ball down the field. I know the 49ers secondary isn't what it used to be, but if he can't get the ball to his receivers, it's going to be, pointless. So for the simple fact, the 49ers, they really need a win. And I feel like they have the better defense, especially up front. And with the Bears' shaky offensive line play, I really wanted to take my guy Justin Fields, but his offensive line is so bad and his defense is so bad. I'm going to have to flip to the 49ers here.
I would have liked it if it was a Justin Fields versus Trey Lance game. That would have been nice.
Yeah, because Jimmy G, he still gives me headaches with some of his decision making. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Cleveland Browns. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, I'm taking the Browns for my guy, Ernest Johnson. Remember that name. He got me 30 points in fantasy last week. I got him off the waiver wire because my running backs were on their bye weeks, and he almost won me my matchup. But we don't need to talk about what happened with the rest of my fantasy team. But he gave me 30.
Wasn't your matchup winless?
Yes, and they won. That's why I
My
said
fault. I didn't mean to piss you off.
you're good. I didn't want to. That's why I didn't want to talk about because it was really hard. I had to scrap a team together. Most of my guys were on the bye. Travis Kelce didn't give me his usual production. I thought DeAndre Hopkins was going to at least have 100 yards against the Texans after they traded him for a bag lunch, and not the good bag lunch either. The bag lunch where you get a sandwich and the vegetables in the bag. So,
Little brown paper bag.
yeah, the brown paper bag. Yeah. So yeah, I'm now on a 4-game losing streak, and I think 3 or 4 game losing streak, and I'm gonna try to turn it around this week. I added some pieces, and yeah, I hope Ernest Johnson can give me another 30 points this week. But back to this game, I think the Browns are gonna lean on their run game, and hopefully Jarvis can stay upright and healthy. He looked really good when he was out there on the field. I don't know who's going to play quarterback. I know Baker wants to tough it out and play because he's just tough and wants to prove he's tough.
Especially against this rivalry.
Oh, yeah, and the way that they beat Pittsburgh in that playoff game really put their foots in them. So I got the Browns, and hopefully their defense can cause enough havoc on Big Ben to, contain that Steelers offense. And I got the Browns in a very close divisional matchup. How about you, bro?
Man. The Browns Steelers for the past 2 years, this Browns Steelers game has been entertainment in one way or the other. Sheesh.
It's tough.
The Browns, yeah, I'm a little stuck. I mean, the Browns, that defense, they got Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett, both on the ends. Like they cause a lot of trouble for offensive linemen. And their secondary, they're pretty good secondary. It's been getting some good stops for them. I'm gonna go with the Browns. No matter what quarterback is playing, I think the Browns will come out on top. Dearness Johnson, wow. Dearness Johnson last game, he was going crazy out there, and that run game was something that I was really concerned about. But is it the run game or is it the offensive line? I'm starting to think that it's the offensive line. That's what's allowing these running backs to go off so much. So I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Yeah, speaking of the Ernest Johnson, he has a Why We Love Sports story. So 3 years ago, he took a job at a Florida fishing boat store with his football dreams up in the air. And last week he had a career night, over 120 yards. And he put that offense on his back. And if Cleveland's third string running back can do that, that just shows you how deep they are at that position. So congrats to Ernest Johnson. Even LeBron gave him some love, and I think he was saying that's his favorite NBA player. So he had a great he had a great night last Thursday.
Hey, look, if he has another great night, he needs to go out with that check, and he needs to do what the Titans running back does. He goes out and he get his O-line some gifts. Got to thank your O-line. I mean, Derrick Henry, there we go, that's the running back I was talking about. Derrick Henry's O-line, one of his O-linemen said that he's got more jury from Derrick Henry than he has in his own entire life, like by himself.
Well, the way they be opening up them holes for Derrick Henry, I would hope he would, take care of that.
Right. Hey, look, yeah. Appreciate y'all. Here's a gold chain. Gold chain for you. A gold chain for you. Gotta make sure your O-line drinking.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna talk about them coming up. But first, we're gonna talk about. Ooh, Jesus! I really don't know how this game is gonna play out. I'm gonna let you lead off here. The Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Detroit Lions. Will the Detroit Lions win their first game this week? Let's see. What you think?
I'm gonna go. I mean, geez. I mean, Jalen Hurts, such a good quarterback. I mean, young, diamond in the rough. this entire Eagles team is a diamond in the rough. I mean, their entire offense, besides their O line, is filled with first and second, third year players who are still trying to find their footing in the NFL. That's why, like, I sort of grade the Eagles team on a different kind of curve because their entire team is just so young. If their entire team's like just older, I could say the Lions most definitely, but hmm.
It's tough because they
The
don't. They
Lions
don't.
are going. The Lions aren't terrible.
No.
They just don't win close games. I mean, nobody really expects them to beat the Rams. I mean, they've been in close games, so it's not like they're getting beat by a whole bunch. And I can definitively say, I mean, they put 33 up against the 49ers. They put 17 up against the Panthers. 17 up against the Ravens. 17 against my 17 points against my Vikings. They put 19 on the Rams' head. Um, so I mean, they can score the ball. They're just not scoring it that well. And the Eagles, they don't really score the ball that well either. So it's gonna be a close game. I mean, they scored 11 against the 49ers. They got 21 against the Cowboys, 30 against the Chiefs, and 21 against the Panthers, 22 against the Bucks, and 22 against the Raiders. So that's such a close scoring margin. I don't even know who to take. I'm gonna go with the Lions
Oh.
just because Jared Goff is a more experienced quarterback. I have more faith in Jared Goff to go down and get the game winning touchdown or put a team in field goal range than I do the Eagles.
Mm, mm. Uh,
And that's really what I'm just gonna base it off of the veteran quarterbacks. And golf is he's more accurate than Hurts.
yeah, Hurts missed some throws in that Bucks game that really could have swung the momentum to the Eagles side.
Right. Like the back shoulder throw, Hurts has some trouble with. I've seen multiple plays where Hurts is having trouble getting that one like over the receiver's head, but like near the sidelines, he's having trouble with that throw. And it's just some of his other throws that just aren't accurate. So
I think it was like
he's
an
having
out.
trouble with a couple of passes.
I think it was an out route to Devontae or Quez Watkins that he missed on the sideline, put a little too much on it. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
he just doesn't know how to drop it in that bread basket yet. So I don't know.
mm. Well, I picked the Eagles, and I'm not very confident about that because they do a lot of things that bad teams do. They make a lot of mistakes. I don't know why they don't run the ball with Miles Sanders. That makes no sense to me. You have a great dynamic running back like that, and you will not use him. Like it's just frustrating with me. But if you're the Eagles, you can't lose to the Lions. I trust Jalen Hurts more in this situation than I do Jared Goff. And the Lions, they just I know they're gonna come out play desperate again this week. They'll probably onside kick it a lot, fake punt. They'll do whatever it takes. I don't know if they'll win a game before Thanksgiving. We'll have to see. Um, but yeah, the Eagles. I'm not very confident in this pick. I wouldn't be shocked if the Lions win because the Eagles are really bad, but their defensive line is really good. Darius Slay is really good. That's about as far as their defense goes. The defensive line and Darius Slay. Everybody else, you can cook, you can have fun with, but you know, we'll have to see how that one plays out. Our next game is going to be really good. The Titans visiting the Indianapolis Colts. How do you see this one playing out? The Colts have looked really well, and they've looked really good the last couple weeks. Carson Wentz is just bombs away. He's throwing bombs. That running game is looking really good, and then their defense is really the truth. And then if you go to the Titan side of it, Derrick Henry is running like a man possessed. And then when you try to load the box up, Tannehill goes to Julio and AJ Brown, Reynolds, and guys like that. Chester Rogers. So the Titans, they're loaded. This is a toss-up game to me. How do you see this one playing out, bro?
A game winning field goal.
Mhm.
or a game-winning touchdown. Either way, I think Titans will come out on top. I mean, they're going to control the time of possession. Derrick Henry, in their last game, he ran for 188 yards. So against the Colts, he ran for 188 yards. And the Colts, not the Titans, they did win that game. It was a victory for them. But I think there's going to be one really big difference between the the time they met earlier in the season and when they're about to meet this week. Wentz, he still was learning the offense at the time. I mean, during that game, he had 9 total drives. He punted the ball four times. They scored 1 touchdown and 4 field goals. I mean, obviously that's not the case for these Colts team the last couple times. I mean, they've been scoring touchdowns. They've been punting the ball less. They've been turning the ball over less. I mean, Carson Wentz, he's not walking to him Wentz no more. He's actually, driving it down the field, hitting the men in blue for his team. So, but I'm still gonna go with the Titans. I think the run game is gonna be too much for them. It's too much for anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think the Titans could even stop Derrick Henry.
I wonder what it's like in practice trying to tackle him. Ooh, Jesus. That's something I would want to do.
They don't. They just be like, I'm not messing with you today. Just tag, go down. They play two-hand with Derrick Henry in practice.
You better hit him low, because if you try to hit him high, he's going to embarrass you. That's all I got to say.
Well, I mean, I don't remember when it was. I saw somebody go low on Derrick Henry, and I was like, all right, okay. He about to tackle Derrick Henry. He got lower than him. Derrick Henry just ran him right over.
Well, yeah, you're going to need some help. It's going to take more than one person to bring him down. For sure.
Oh, yeah. Because Buddy Short enough got rolled over. He got ran over. Probably got his face mask stumped on into the ground. It was bad.
Ooh, that sounds filthy. I picked the Colts here.
Ooh, upset. Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like they're at home. I haven't given them enough respect the last couple weeks. And I really like how this offense is really playing. And I think their defense is going to, take that challenge of trying to slow down Derrick Henry. You're not going to stop him. Let's just get that out. You're not going to shut him down completely. But DeForest Buckner up front, I feel like he'll cause some havoc. And then you got Darius Leonard. We talked about him last week. HBCU pride. He went to South Carolina State. It's the reason why his nickname is the Maniac, because he's the truth, and I can't wait to see him and Derrick Henry match up in that hole. It's gonna be fun to see. But I just got the Colts winning a very close game at home. That's one of the main reasons I picked them, is because they're at home this week. And I just think they find a way to get a close victory at home. They need this divisional game, because they didn't start the season off strong. And I feel like they're really starting to put it together on offense. They're getting healthy. And like I said, Carson Wentz has just been bombs away the last couple weeks. And I think they keep it rolling against the Titans secondary, who's not that great. But if Bud Dupree's able to get pressure on Carson Wentz, that could be trouble. But I just got I got the Colts winning here. So this next one, we probably won't spend much time talking about it because it's really not much to say. But the Cincinnati Bengals are visiting the New York Jets. I got the Bengals here big by at least 4 touchdowns. The Jets
that's an understatement. 7 touchdowns.
No, four. I said 4.
No, they're gonna get 7 touchdowns. It's no Zach Wilson.
Oh no, I was just setting the bar low. I think that they'll lose by at least 4.
You being real conservative. This is gonna be a blowout. Who put 54? Didn't they get 54 put on their head last week?
By the Patriots, yeah.
By the Patriots, and you got to go up against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. If
you have Jamar Chase on your fantasy team, I would start him because he's getting ready to cook.
You could cut everybody else and just start Jamar Chase this week because he's finna get all the points you need. Honestly, for the Bengals, the goal should be third quarter, start a set. By the time third quarter comes, like, all right, my backup quarterback is in, backup running back is in, backup lineman. I'm not putting none of my starters in harm's way when we're gonna be we're pitching a shutout because they're gonna pitch a shutout.
I mean, they should. Mike White, he used to be the Cowboys' third string quarterback. He's going to be starting this week. They picked up Joe Flacco, but obviously, I doubt he would be ready on
He
the.
was who third team quarterback?
He was our the Cowboys' third string quarterback for a
Oh,
while.
you know, was he your third string quarterback last year?
No, I think he started with the Jets last year. He was our third
Oh,
string in
I was gonna
2019.
say now, if you was third string on that team last year, then you he was in for a word of hurt because y'all went through it last year.
Unfortunately, yeah, it was a lot of upset days.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you was behind Andy Dalton, Benjamin Anthony DiNucci, and I forget who the other one y'all played. Y'all played one boy.
Garrett Gilbert, I think that's bro's name.
There we go, Garrett Gilbert. If you was behind one of them three, you was in the word of hurt. You about to start. But nah, okay, so he wasn't. So you still in the water hurt. You have no online protection.
Hendrickson is gonna eat
No, I was about to say you ain't really got no weapons. So Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow for 400 yards tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, easily, easily, for sure. Well, this is another one that I think could get out of hand, or it should. The Los Angeles Rams are visiting the Houston Texans. Tyrod he's off IR. And they were looking really good when he was in there, and then they've had Davis Mills in, and they haven't won a game since. And this offense has looked really bad. They just traded Mark Ingram to the Saints. Brandon Cooks, I hope he gets out too because he's about the only receiver they have, and I'm pretty sure he wants to be on a contender and not playing in the playing for a team that's going to probably be in the top 5 of the draft for the next couple of years. So I got the Rams winning here. I just think they have a little too much talent for the Texans, and since I don't think Tyrod is going to play this week, well, even if he was playing, I still would pick the Rams just because they're the better team. And yeah, I just got the Rams winning, and I wouldn't be surprised if they shut the Texans out because their defense is that good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you said it all. Rams are gonna win.
Big. Yeah, this probably. Well, the Texans, they kept it close with the Cardinals for a while last week. It was scaring me. But then the Cardinals pulled away because they had, they were overwhelmed with talent, So, yeah. Next, we have the New England Patriots visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are coming off a bye after they got humbled a little bit against the Ravens, only scored 6 points. I'm taking the Chargers here. They're coming off a bye, and I'm pretty sure they want to make sure they don't have a repeat performance of what happened the last time they were on the field against the Ravens, only scoring 6 points. Look really, really bad. And this could be a shootout because the Patriots have seemed to found their way on offense, and this could be high scoring. But I'm just taking Justin Herbert in that offense. There's the truth, and I think they'll do enough against this Patriots team, and they'll get a close victory against the Patriots.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna have to go with the Chargers. I mean, Justin Herbert, he's starting to look really good, and I just don't know if the New England defense is gonna have anything to stop it. Patriots, I mean, what Mac Jones has around him is the best situation for any rookie quarterback to go into. I don't think any rookie quarterback coming into this team was going to struggle. I mean, I think some other rookie quarterbacks probably do a better job than Mac Jones, but Mac Jones is in the best situation he could possibly be in, has comparable receivers, comparable tight ends, protection, and a good defense around him. I mean, it's a recipe for him to be, within any game, and he's on target. He knows how to make some accurate passes. So it's going to be a shootout, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. It could be like that Browns and Chargers game from a couple of weeks ago. That was crazy. I don't know if it's gonna get that
Yeah.
crazy, but it's gonna be up there for sure. Uh, this is another one of those tricky ones that I'm not sure how it's gonna play out, but we have to see. The Jacksonville Jaguars are visiting the Seattle Seahawks, but the Jaguars they got a big win going into the bye week. Um, they beat the Dolphins. They looked very different. I think having Marvin Jones come back really helped that team, and it really changed how they operate on offense. But if you're Seattle, I just feel like if you're Seattle, I don't know how, but I feel like you got to find a way to win this game. Uh, Especially you don't want to lose too many more, and then it may be you hold Russell Wilson out for the rest of the year because if they're not in playoff contention, I don't know if it'd be worth bringing them back. So hopefully Geno doesn't do Geno things, and hopefully Seattle can find a way to beat a Jacksonville team that's probably looking to get their second straight victory, but the Seahawks they need to win bad. So I'm picking the Seahawks here, but I'm not very confident about it.
Yeah, man. This is gonna be a struggle for the
Yeah,
Seahawks.
it's gonna
I think the Seahawks should win, but they're taking a lot of L's, man. They took a L to the Titans, they took a L to the Vikings, they took a L to the Rams, they took a L to the Steelers, and they took a L to the Saints. I mean, an L to the Jags is very probable. But this is a must-win game for the Seahawks. The Seahawks need to come out here and establish whatever they need to establish, whatever the game plan is. They need to go ahead and establish it early because if you let the Jacksonville team stick around, they're gonna feel like they can win the game. The more and more they are around, the more it's a 3-point game, the more it's a one possession game, one touchdown game. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they're gonna think, oh yeah, we can win this game. We can win this game. But if you get it to them early, put them down 14 early, you're gonna take their every
carried away.
bit of confidence that they have, yeah, and they're just gonna fold at that point. But you got to do it early, and you got to do it quick, and you got to be consistent the entire game. So I'm gonna go with Seattle, just because they really can't afford to lose any game. If Jacksonville Jaguars lose, I mean, Urban Meyer, he's not going to get fired. Trevor Lawrence isn't going to get fired. So think they'll be all right. So Seattle, they need to get this win.
And you brought it up. Gino has had a chance the last drive, the last 3 weeks to win the games, and he's fumbled the bag, to put it nicely. And Monday night, if the kicker doesn't go haywire, I would have got that one right. And so, yeah, just hopefully, like you said, Seattle, they need to win. And I feel like on defense, they're going to play with pride. They've been playing much better. They were getting cooked and, stuff like that. So we have to see. Another one, I don't know how it's going to play out, but we shall see. Um, the Washington football team is visiting the Denver Broncos. Washington is on the 3-game slide, and the Broncos on a 4-game slide. And I just picked the Broncos because they're more desperate than the Washington football team, and they're at home. So hopefully they can establish their run game. I love what Patrick and Cortland Sutton have been able to give them. It's a chance they may get Judy back this week, and if they can get Judy back against that Washington football team secondary, it could be problematic for Washington.
Right.
So hopefully their defense can find themselves because they've really been getting exposed the last couple weeks. And I just think Denver, they need to win because next week they go to Jerry's Castle, and I don't think they'll win there. So they better go ahead and win this week against a Washington team who struggles on offense. They make a lot of mistakes, and they turn the ball all over at the worst time. So yeah, I got Denver here. How about you, bro?
I'm gonna go with the Denver Broncos just because of the fact that this Washington defense is suspect. I mean, the Washington offense is a little suspect too, but they can score the ball. But Denver Broncos defense is what been keeping them in a lot of the games. It's been the Broncos. I don't think they've been a part of a shootout yet. I think they've been a part of a lot of low scoring games, a lot of methodical games where the coaches and the opposing, quarterbacks are really playing chess with each other opposed to playing checkers. So it's gonna be a really close game. It's gonna be really thought out, well planned. Somebody's gonna have to, get some trick plays in there to, shake up the board. But at the end of the day, I think the Denver Broncos are gonna come out on top.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't let Gibson for the Washington football team get loose because they have been giving up a lot of rush yards the last couple weeks, and that's something that's very concerning. I was looking here. They gave up 34 to the Raiders, and I think the Steelers had success against them too. Yeah, the Steelers put 27 up on them. So, and the Ravens, they were throwing bombs on that secondary. So, hopefully, they are able to figure things out this week when they play the Washington football team, like you said, a team that's struggling. And I got Denver winning here as well. So, yeah. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks visiting the New Orleans Saints. This is going to be a really interesting game because that Saints defense, boy, they were laying some wood last week. They were very physical. Demario, what's his name? Demario Davidson. I think that's his name. The linebacker. He was everywhere. So I feel like the key for the Saints is they're gonna have to figure out a way to get pressure on Tom Brady because they were really able to get pressure on Geno Smith and really just limit the Seahawks offense. I know DK broke loose to open the game, but really after that, I really don't think they had too many more big plays like that. But I'm taking the Bucks here. Their offense, Lord have mercy, they got a lot of weapons, and I think that the Saints offense, they just don't have enough on offense to keep up with this Bucks offense. So I wouldn't be surprised they added Mark Ingram in a trade if they kind of tried to play keep away. I know it's not something you would want to do, trying to run the ball on the Bucks defense, but you got to do something because I don't think Jameis, with the weapons he has, I don't know if they can get in the shootout with the Bucks. So I'm taking the Bucks just for the simple fact their offense is going to be a little too much for the Saints. And Tom Brady, he struggled against the Saints last year, so I know he'll want to get a little payback.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. They just don't have enough. I mean, they added Mark Ingram, but that's not going to be enough. I mean, they don't have a number one receiver right now. They don't have Emmanuel Sanders no more. Michael Thomas, he's still out, and we thought he'd be back by week 6, but this is predicting to be a little bit longer than what we were expecting and what we thought. I mean, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got Tom Brady, they got Mike Evans, they got Chris Godwin, they got Antonio Brown. I mean, they got Leonard Fournette at the running back position. Do I need to keep going on? Like, what can the Saints stop that's over here? The Saints ain't finna stop nothing.
Now, Lattimore, he does give Mike Evans trouble, but if AB's back this week, then they'll have AB and Godwin. So yeah, this.
I mean, if they bring Grunt back, then that really don't matter. That really don't matter. I mean, Grunt, he's dealing with the rib fractures, I think it is. Yeah. So, I mean, it's the Bucks. I mean, high-powered offense. I mean, what are you going to do with them? The Saints just don't have enough. I mean, Jameis Winston, he's accepting the assignment, but he's not really excelling in the assignment. We thought he would be a lot better than what he is right now. So, yeah, Bucks.
Simple. I don't know why this is a Monday night game, but because the Chiefs' defense is so bad, it'll probably be a good game. But we have.
They're not that bad. That 8-8 Gary is finna do some miracles on them now. Disrespect the Chiefs like that.
We'll have to see. But our Monday night game, for whatever reason, is the New York Giants visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, they need a win. They'll be desperate. And coming up, they got the Packers, Raiders, and Cowboys. So they got to handle business this Monday night against the Giants. Mahomes, he has to take what the defense gives him and not force it. Hopefully, his offensive line will be able to protect him better. And yeah, hopefully the Chiefs move Chris Jones back inside. He's not a defensive end. A man that big should not be playing defensive end. So hopefully they do the smart thing and move him back inside. And hopefully somehow, some way that defense can make enough stops where Patrick Mahomes and this offense can do what they need to do. And I think the Chiefs get a much needed win at home on Monday Night Football. It's going to be rocking. And yeah, I got the Chiefs here.
Yeah, man. I think that's probably one of the Chiefs' downfalls, that O-line that they pressed out so hard to, get over the offseason, that they didn't focus on the defense side of the ball. I mean, usually, the defense can, get a couple stops, keep the game, within 30 and not always getting to the 40s, 50s, letting teams score and open and drive every game. And they usually just pull out some stops that allow Patrick Mahomes, to come back. And that's what they're not being able to do right now. So I do think that the Giants are going to score. I think it probably would be like 31-17, somewhere around that range. But I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning. The Giants defense is not good enough for Patrick Mahomes just to be throwing away stuff like Patrick Mahomes has been doing this year. So, I mean, he might give up one or two. I mean, he did against Washington, but then that second half, he really turned it up and then, found the holes and got his team to win. So I'm thinking we're going to see the same thing here with the Giants.
Yeah, they're not facing Sam Darnold this week. They're facing the bazooka, Patrick Mahomes, the magician. So I hope they come ready, because Patrick Mahomes is going to look to put on a show and remind people. As Cowboys are visiting the Minnesota Vikings, I'm gonna give it to the home team here first, and I'm gonna let you tell us how you think this game is going to go. I have a good idea of what you're going to say. But yeah, how do you see the Cowboys-Vikings matchup playing out?
Vikings all the way, man.
Oh, all the way.
Yeah, all the way. It's really not too hard. I mean, we talked about this on JWall Sports. I mean, we're gonna start off. We're gonna establish the run game. We got to establish the run game so we can open up stuff to the passing game. And we have a top 5 running back. And I'm gonna say this again: we have a top 5 running back. So you're not just gonna stop. You're not just gonna stop him like that. I mean, some people. I'm not gonna say any names. Not Sean. He thought that was not a top 5 running back, and then my running back put 140 on his head. He lucky he ain't been here the past 2 weeks. He been playing sick, running from the smoke. I think the sickness is the Vikings giving his team a beatdown. But I digress. I mean, like I said, we have a top 5 running back. That running back is going to be effective any way we can put him. If y'all don't want to let him run out the backfield, y'all can chase him as we throw it to him out the backfield. Either way, he's going to get the ball. Either way, he's going to break some tackles, and either way, he's probably going to run over Trayvon Diggs, who's going to try to tackle him. And either way, he's going to move the chains. He's going to get first downs, and either way, your safeties are going to come in, and now Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen is going over y'all head.
I'm gonna have to put the highlight tape in here from last year, because I think you must have forgot. We beat y'all with Andy Dalton last year. You must have forgot.
Did we have a top 10 defense last year?
I don't think you have one this year. If we're being,
I think it's top 15, but hey, we're somewhere in there. We had a bottom line. We had a bottom half defense last year. This year, we're in the middle of the pack. You at least got to respect this on defense this year. Last year, we had no respect on defense.
I respect your front seven. What's his name? Anthony Barr. I always respect him. He's one of the best linebackers in the league. You got Hunter and Griffin on the edge. So I mean, it's decent up front, But we talked about this on your show. Check that out. We don't know when it's coming out yet, but check that out when it comes out. We talked about this on your show. The Cowboys, I was a little concerned because of the way they let the Patriots establish the line of scrimmage, and they were, they dominated us in the trenches. And I said we need to fix that this week because that's y'all's identity. Y'all want to establish a run game, play action off that to Thielen, Jefferson, Osborne, So I feel like this could be a shootout because both teams have a lot of explosiveness on offense and stuff like that. But when it comes down to a matchup like this, I have to take the team that has the better quarterback, and that's Dak Prescott. And he's throwing to Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz. You got Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard running out the backfield. We have a 1-2 punch that's very potent. And I just don't see how y'all stop our offense enough to win this game. And on defense, Randy Gregory is going to feast in that backfield. Micah Parsons is going to thump Dalvin Cook for sure. And you talked about our safeties. I don't think you want our safeties coming down because Dalvin Cook, he remembers this name very well. Donovan Wilson knocked the sense out of him last year. It was vicious, man. He came down and put that hit stick on Dalvin Cook, knocked that ball loose. So he's definitely going to do that again.
That's what he was playing injured.
It wouldn't have mattered. The way he hit him.
A hamstring injury?
The way he got hit, boy. Oh, man.
First of all, Dalvin Cook is elusive. He took that hit because he couldn't take the fact of injuring his hamstring even more. So he had to he took one for the team, but it's okay. Like I said, he finna show y'all this week.
I wouldn't be surprised because that's something I'm a little concerned about our run defense because I know it looks like we're good against the run this year, but nobody has really until the Patriots game really tried to establish their run game. So that's going to be something we're going to need to address. And like I said, don't try Trayvon Diggs throwing to him too much. He's going to take one to the crib. So I'm interested to see him.
Has he played in the league? Has he played against an elite wide receiver yet?
Played Mike Evans week 1. He went against the Bucs secondary. I mean the Bucs receivers. So that was really the only and the Chargers. The first 2 weeks he had to go against Keenan Allen.
Okay. I give you Keenan Allen. But what was Keenan Allen's numbers that day though?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but I know he was cooking. He was cooking for a little bit. He got Diggs. Diggs got him.
So Diggs got cooked, is what you're telling me.
I mean, you're not gonna be perfect on every play.
Yeah. Jalen Ramsey's not perfect on every play, but Jalen Ramsey's he's gonna lock you down.
Diggs is gonna lock you down too. But I think when Keenan Allen was getting off, I think it was on Anthony Brown because that's when everybody gets off on us. So probably so. So you have the Vikings winning here. I'm not surprised. Ooh. But
Keenan Allen went off on y'all. Boy, they had 108 yards and 4 receptions.
Well, all that wasn't on Trayvon Diggs. So
now all of it went on Trayvon Diggs. So now he's locked up against some good receivers, but now when I say his number is he didn't guard for most of it. You sound like Skip right now.
I'm not sound like Skip, but you have to think about it. We do a lot of cover 2, and Trayvon has them for a certain point, and then it's the safety's job to handle his business. So that's not on Trayvon Diggs. I said Stephon a lot a couple of weeks ago when we did the show. But he's gonna hold his own, and that's gonna be a matchup I can't wait to watch because I know they're gonna be going at it for sure. We need to talk about our game of the week, which is tonight. As you see, my background is a beautiful State Farm stadium. I call it the toaster because it looks like a toaster. But unfortunately, the Packers have been hit with a lot of their 2 of their receivers are on the COVID list. I haven't heard if they've made it off. I don't think they're going to have them tonight.
Devontae Adams is not vaccinated, so he has to adhere to COVID protocols.
Up and just get vaccinated because Aaron Rodgers is going to need I don't know how I don't. Okay, so I don't really know how they are able to keep up with this Cardinals offense. They just have all type of weapons. DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Rondell Moore,
Zach
uh,
Ertz.
yeah, Zach. They just added Zach Ertz and Christian Kurtz. Oh my God, I'm finally gonna get another one right. I feel like tonight. Hopefully,
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
James Conner.
Oh yeah, and they got Chris Edmonds. So this offense is loaded. Okay. Um, so hopefully, I finally get a game of the week right. I'm going with the Cardinals just because I don't see how the Packers are able to keep up with this high-powered offense. I really hated J.J. Watt. Looks like he's got to have shoulder surgery, and unfortunately, this is another season where his season gets cut short due to injury. So I really hate that for them. But I mean, they're still really good on defense. Isaiah Simmons, Zaven Collins, you got Buda Baker, Byron Murphy on the back end. So they're loaded on defense. I really hate JJ Watt is going to miss what could be a potentially special season for them. But I got the Cardinals. I just feel like they're a little too much, but I will never ever count out that bad man Aaron Rodgers. But I just don't see how. So I got the Cardinals. Huh?
He a bad man, but a bad man need people to throw it to. Tom Brady was a bad man when he was still with the Patriots, but he ain't had nobody to throw it to.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I would just never count out Aaron Rodgers. But how do you see this game playing out, bro?
I'm counting out Aaron Rodgers today. Cardinals are gonna win it. It's not gonna be close.
Whoa.
It's gonna be a disappointment for a Thursday night football game.
Because the way it was building up to before all the Packers, but the two receivers got on the COVID list, this looked like it was going to be a shootout in the desert.
I was looking forward to it, but now it's just like, hey, Cardinals versus Packers.
But I mean,
tonight. That's what I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna be watching two games at one time.
But I mean, he still has Randall Cobbs. I don't know who else, but that's about it. That's about it.
There you go. I mean, it is not a lot for this for the Cardinals secondary to figure out. I mean, Randall Cobb get two big catches, then we just gonna double team you. Everybody else is going to try to beat us. I mean, no Devontae Adams, no Alan Lazard. I mean, you still got Randall Cobb. You got Malik Taylor. You got Amari Rodgers. You got, I was going to say Marco Valdez-Scantling, but he's on the IR list. So you're down to 1, 2, 3. You're down to 4 receivers.
Yikes. Thank you again for joining the show again this week. It was fun talking with you this week and last week. And why don't you go ahead and shout yourself out, bro, and tell people where they can follow you. And I don't know if you're selling those sweet shirts that you're rocking today.
I'm not selling these shirts yet. I made these ones for the fall league, giving these out to the 2 championship teams on Saturday. So I made sure I keep one for myself. So get the J-Wall production shirt. I'm gonna have the merch out soon. Just be patient. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at JWall Sports. My personal handles are going to be in the bios of each page. We got some highlights coming out today from the fall league, so make sure you check those out. Got some interviews that are going to be coming out next week. Got more games, more stuff coming out for tonight, Thursday night, and Sunday for football. So just stay tuned for all that. Keep liking, reposting all my stuff, and I appreciate you guys that come over from Keith's followers and join J-Wall Sports too.
For sure. And we did an episode earlier today. That's I don't know what you said. Tomorrow is coming out tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna come out tomorrow. Probably tomorrow at 12 o'clock, probably.
Okay, so his will drop before mine, and then you can go look at mine. So his will be at J-Wall Sports on YouTube, and make sure y'all, like you said, like, subscribe, and comment on his stuff. So thank you again, bro, for joining the show.
Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate you for having me.
No problem.